Considered to be one of the top referees of all time, with a string of illustrious games and records to his name, Jonathan KAPLAN recently hung up his whistle after 20 years as a first-class and international referee. We met him at his Greenpoint home to find out more about his decision to bow out and to look back on his interesting career.
Yeah, look, I'm 47 now, so more or less the timing was about right. I think I could have challenged myself a couple more years if necessary to, to try and hold my spot on the provincial panels. But in reality, once I was taken off the international panels at the end of the World Cup in 2011, the writing was on the wall. So it was really just a matter of finding the right exit point. And I felt that I'd proved everything that I needed to prove in those couple of years. It was time to give somebody else a go, and I'm very comfortable that in South Africa we've got a new crop of youngsters that I really believe in.
His last game was a particularly poignant one for him.
To be awarded the final was really emotional. It was just basically that little cherry on the top of my career. There were other factors that I tried to concentrate on. So like being a good team man, contributing to the younger guys' evolution as referees, delivering a standard that I could be proud of in my last year, and having fun. For years I'd managed to control my emotion and be in charge of my thoughts, and giving the players in particular an even-handed temperament which was easy to communicate with. Leading up to that game I was a bit of a mess. My emotions were flying all over the place. I mean, as much as I want to say that my character involves a lot of different facets, the reality was that rugby and refereeing has been a part of my life for 40 years maybe, and 30 years as a referee. And this was the last stop. And obviously when you come off the field, you've done a reasonable job. So once again, it just when players came to me from both sides and just opened the taps again.
This is what it means. 6 Currie Cup finals. To anticipate.
The game is evolving. The art of refereeing is evolving. There's many facets to the work that we do that's a constant evolution. Whether it's quite up to scratch or whether it's keeping pace with the requirements of the modern game, that's a moot point. There is a fair body of evidence to suggest that we could morph and think about challenging the boundaries of refereeing as it used to be into something more applicable for the modern game. I've embraced that change as part and parcel of the work I do.
This now includes completing his book.
The book that's coming out in late May this year is a documentation of my journey. The challenges I faced, I haven't shied away from that, because I think, I don't want to give the public a book which is just Hollywood and everything's got a happy ending and it's a beautiful story. So I think there's a few interesting stories along the way, and really speaking, a lot of those stories were, they finish off about how they motivated me to overcome obstacles and hindrances and blockages along the way to achieve the successes that I did during my career. It's the first big referee book that I'm aware of that's come out. I haven't really attempted to mash people along the way, but quite clearly, if something leaves an indelible mark on your journey as a person and obviously my career as a referee, then those things need to be told as well.
KAPLAN has some final words of advice for those wanting to pursue a career in refereeing.
I think as long as a person is in reasonably good physical nick and they have a passion for the game, I think there's no reason why you can't make it. Like I said, I come from a deep draw. It took me a long time to get to the top, and then it took them a long time to get rid of me as well. And like I said, it's a pretty cool career to be involved in. It's a little bit of Lone Ranger as opposed to a team environment. But if you want to stay involved and have front row seats in one of the greatest sports that I can think of, then refereeing is a pretty decent field to stay involved in.
Congratulations on a great career. We look forward to reading more in your book.